The plan wasn't supposed to change anything. It was just a picnic, a simple group outing organized after weeks of endless college stress, missed sleep, and unfinished conversations. No one expected it to become a memory that would quietly rewrite 2 lives. Ayaan had almost cancelled. He stood in front of his mirror that morning, adjusting the collar of his shirt, wondering why he even agreed to go. He wasn't the group outing type, noise, laughter too. Many people talking at once, it all exhausted him. But something made him stay. Maybe it was curiosity, or maybe it was fate quietly rearranging things. On the other side of the city, Meher was already late. "Guys, I am coming, stop calling," she laughed into her phone. Rushing down the stairs, her bag. Half-open hair. Slightly messy and energy impossible to ignore. Meher was the kind of girl who carried sunlight with her. Not because everything in her life was perfect, but because she refused to let anything dull her spirit. The group gathered at the edge of a quiet lakeside park. Tall trees, soft grass, a breeze that carried the smell of water and wildflowers. It was peaceful, unexpectedly peaceful. Ayaan arrived last, and that S when he saw her. She was laughing, head slightly tilted back, eyes closed. Completely lost in the moment. For a second, the world around him blurred. He didn't know her name, but something about her felt familiar. "Guys, this is Meher," someone shouted. "And this is Ayaan," another voice added casually. They looked at each other, just for a moment. "Hi," Meher smiled. "Hi," Ayaan replied, quieter. Nothing dramatic happened. No music, no sudden realization, just a simple hello. But sometimes that's how everything begins. The picnic started like any other. Food was unpacked, games were suggested. Someone played music from their phone. Few people started dancing badly and everyone laughed. Ayaan stayed slightly away from the group, sitting near the lake, watching the ripples in the water. He liked silence, but today the silence felt different. "Why are you sitting alone?" He turned. It was her. "Meher?" "I like it here," he said simply. She sat beside him without asking. "I like people," she said, "but sometimes I like this too." Ayaan glanced at her. She wasn't trying to fill the silence. She was sharing it. That surprised him. They didn't talk much at first. Just small things. Favorite food, college life, random opinions about music. But slowly something shifted. Time started moving differently. The noise of the group faded, and their conversation deepened. "You don't talk much," Mia said after a while. "Only when it matters," Ayaan replied. She smiled. "I talk too much, I noticed." She laughed. And this time he smiled too. The afternoon stretched into evening. Golden sunlight reflected on the lake, turning everything warm and unreal. The group decided to explore deeper into the park. Walking trails, hidden corners, small bridges over narrow streams. Ayaan and Meher ended up walking side by side. Not planned, not forced. It just happened. "Do you believe in timing?" Meher asked suddenly. Ayaan thought for a moment. "I think things happen when they were supposed to." "That's boring," she said. "It's honest?" She looked at him. "Or maybe things happen when people choose them." He didn't answer, but something about her words stayed with him. As the sky turned orange, the group gathered again. Someone suggested taking photos. Everyone crowded together, laughing, pushing, smiling. At one point, Meher stood next to Ayaan. Their shoulders touched, just slightly, but neither of them moved away. Later, as the group started packing up, Meher walked toward the lake one last time. Ayaan followed. "You are quiet again," she said. "Just thinking about what?" He looked at the water, then at her. "This day." She smiled softly. "Me too." There was a pause. A long one, but it didn't feel awkward. It felt important. "Do you think we'll remember this day?" Meher asked. Ayaan looked at her. "I think we want to be able to forget it." And for the first time, neither of them realized this wasn't just a picnic anymore. This was the beginning of something neither of them had planned. Something slow, something real, something that would grow quietly between conversations, between silences, between two people who didn't expect to find each other. The group didn't leave immediately. Someone suggested staying until sunset. Someone else brought out a speaker again. And just like that, the picnic stretched into something softer, slower, almost magical. But Ayaan and Meher weren't the only story unfolding that day. Among the group was Rehan, loud, confident, the kind of guy who made friends in seconds and jokes in milliseconds. And then there was Zoya, quiet, observant, always smiling but never too much. The kind of girl people noticed but didn't always understand. They had known each other before. Same college, same circle, different worlds. "Rehan, stop it," someone shouted as he tried to throw a chips packet at another friend. I am improving the vibe, he laughed. Zoya sat nearby shaking her head. You call this improving, she said softly. Rehan turned. Of course, without me this picnic would be boring. Zoya raised an eyebrow. I disagree. Oh, really? Yes? For example? You talk too much. The group laughed. Rehan placed a hand on his chest dramatically. That hurts. Zoya smiled slightly, and for a moment he stopped joking. Because her smile wasn't he loud, but it stayed. Meanwhile, Ayaan and Meher had joined the group again, but something had changed. They weren't strangers anymore. They kept noticing each other. In small ways. Unspoken ways. Let us play a game, someone shouted. Truth or dare. Everyone cheered. Except Ayaan and Zoya. Come on, you two look like you need this, Rehan said, pointing at them. I am fine, Ayaan replied. You are not, Meher whispered. He looked at her. She smiled. And somehow, he agreed. The game started. Laughter filled the air. Secrets came out. Dares got ridiculous. And slowly walls started breaking. Zoya, truth or dare, someone asked. Truth. Have you ever liked someone in this group? Silence. Everyone leaned forward. Zoya hesitated. Just for a second, then said, maybe. The group exploded. Oh, she shook her head. No more questions. But her eyes, for a brief second, looked at Rehan. He noticed, and for once he didn't make a joke. Rehan, your turn. Dare, he said confidently. I dare you to sit quietly for 5 minutes. The group laughed loudly. Impossible. Rehan smirked. Watch me. He sat down, crossed his arms, stayed quiet. 1 minute passed, then 2, then 3, and surprisingly, he didn't break it, but his eyes, they kept drifting toward Zoya, and she noticed. On the other side, Meher leaned closer to Ayaan. See, this is fun. It's chaotic. It's life. He looked at her. And you, she smiled. I like chaos. He shook his head. I don't he. Maybe you will. As the sky darkened, something subtle had changed between everyone. The group felt closer, warmer, real. Later, small groups started forming. Some near the food, some near the trees, and some near the lake. Rehan found Zoya standing alone looking at the water. Hey, she turned. You survived 5 minutes of silence. I did it for the challenge. She smiled. I don't believe you. Then what do you believe? She looked at him. That you're not as loud as you pretend to be. He paused. That no one had ever said before. And you, he said slowly, are not as quiet as people think. Zoya looked surprised. How? You say a lot without talking much. She didn't respond. But this time, her silence felt different. Can I ask you something? Rehan said. Depends. Were you telling the truth earlier? She didn't pretend to misunderstand. Yes? And is it someone I know? She hesitated, then said, yes. Rehan smiled. Good. Why good? Because I think I like someone too. Zoya's heartbeat changed, and he looked at her. And for once, Rehan didn't joke. It might be you. Silence. Real silence. The kind that changes things. Zoya looked away, then back at him. You were serious? For once. She smiled. Soft. Careful. But real then, maybe it is you. And just like that, another story began. Quietly. Unexpectedly, across the lake, Meher watched them. I think something just happened, she said. Ayaan followed her gaze. I think so too. She turned to him. Funny, right? What? How people come for a picnic and leave with something else. She nodded. He looked at her. Did you? She didn't answer immediately, then said, maybe, that night. No one went home the same, because sometimes it's not the place, not the plan, not even the moment. It is the people, the unexpected conversations, the quiet connections, the way two stories start at the same time without anyone realizing they were always meant to happen. That night didn't end when they left the park. It stayed in their conversations, in their thoughts, in the quiet moments between everything else. After the picnic, the group chat, once inactive, suddenly came alive. Memes, photos, voice notes, inside jokes. But between all that noise, two different stories began to grow. Ayaan and Meher. Ayaan wasn't he used to texting someone first, but that night, he did. Ayaan, did you reach home? He stared at the screen, regretted sending it. Then, Meher, yes. You, he smiled. Without realizing, their conversation started small, but they didn't stay small. Late night talks, random questions, deep discussions about life, dreams, fears, things they never told anyone else. "You're different," Meher texted one night. "How?" "You listen." Ayaan stared at that message for a long time, because no one had ever said that before. Rehan and Zoya, their story moved differently. Less words, more presence. Rehan started noticing her in college more, waiting for her after class, walking beside her, not talking much. Which, for him, was new. "You're quiet these days," his friend teased. "Learning," he replied. "From who?" Rehan glanced at Zoya. "From her." Zoya, on the other hand, started smiling more, not loudly, but more often. The shift. Weeks passed, and feelings grew. Naturally, slowly, deeply. Ayaan and Meher the confession. It happened on a call. Late night, like always. "Do you ever feel like something is changing?" Meher asked. "Yes." "What is it?" Ayaan paused, then said, "You." Silence. Her heartbeat raced. "Ayaan, I didn't plan this," he continued. "I don't even understand it completely, but I know one thing." "What?" "I don't want a day without talking to you." Meher smiled, tears in her eyes. "I think I feel the same." No dramatic proposal. No big moment. Just truth. And sometimes, that's is stronger. Rehan and Zoya, the distance. Not all love stories grow smoothly. Theirs didn't. Rehan was expressive. Zoya wasn't. Rehan wanted clarity. Zoya needed time. "Why don't you say what you feel?" Rehan asked one day. "I do?" "No, you don't." She looked at him. "I am here, aren't I?" But for Rehan, that wasn't enough. And slowly, a distance formed. The breaking point. Everything changed the day misunderstandings stepped in. Ayaan and Meher. Ayaan saw something, a photo. Meher with another guy, laughing, close. He didn't ask. He assumed. And that assumption created silence. Messages became shorter. Calls stopped. Distance grew. "Why are you acting like this?" Meher asked. "I am not." "You are?" "Maybe you should ask yourself why?" She didn't understand. And that hurt more. Rehan and Zoya. Their silence turned into absence. Days without talking. Then weeks. Until one day, Zoya said, "Maybe we were not the same." Rehan nodded. "Maybe we were not." And just like that, they stopped trying. Time passed. Months. Life moved on. But feelings didn't disappear. They changed. They waited. The reunion. It happened where everything started. The same park. The same lake. Another group outing. No one planned it that way. But somehow, everyone showed up. Ayaan and Meher. They saw each other after months. No words at first. Just silence. "You look different," Meher said. "You too." Pause. Then, "Who was he?" Ayaan asked. She frowned. "Who?" "The guy in the photo." She blinked, then laughed softly. "My cousin?" Silence. Then realization. Then regret. "You didn't ask," she said quietly. "I was afraid." "Of what?" "Of losing you." She looked at him. "You lost me because you didn't trust me." That hit deeper than anything. "I am sorry," he said. And this time, he meant it completely. Tears filled her eyes. "I missed you." I never stopped. And slowly, carefully, they chose each other again. Rehan and Zoya. Their reunion was quieter. No drama. No confrontation. "Hi," Rehan said. "Hi." They walked together, like before, but slower. More aware. "I was wrong," Rehan said. "About what?" "Thinking love has to sound loud." Zoya looked at him. "And I was wrong thinking silence is enough." He smiled. "So what now?" She smiled back. "We meet in the middle, and sometimes that is what love really is." The ending. The sun began to set again, just like the first day. 4 people stood near the lake. 2 stories, different paths, same place. "Funny, right?" Meher said. What Ayaan asked. "How everything started here and came back here?" She nodded. Rehan looked at Zoya. "Do you believe in timing now?" She smiled. "No." "Then what?" "In choosing." And this time, they all chose. Not perfectly, not easily, but honestly, because love isn't about perfect beginnings or perfect people. It's about finding someone, losing them, understanding them, and choosing them again. Final line. That day was never just a picnic. It was the day 4 hearts learned what love really means. That second chance didn't fix everything overnight. It wasn't like the movies. There were no perfect smiles, no instant healing, because real love takes time to rebuild. Ayaan and Meher learning trust again. Things were different now, softer, careful. They still talked every day, but now they listened more than they spoke. One evening they sat at a quiet cafe, not saying much, just being there. I still think about that day, Meher said. Which one? The day you stopped trusting me? Ayaan didn't look away this time. I think about it too. Silence, but not empty. I don't want to lose you again, he said. Then don't run away when things feel hard. That became their promise. Not perfect love, but honest love. And slowly, trust returned. Not all at once, but piece by piece. Rehan and Zoya finding balance. Their story changed the most, because both of them had to change. Rehan learned to slow down, to not demand answers, to understand silence. Zoya learned to open up to speak, to not hide feelings behind quiet smiles. One day they sat together on a campus bench. You know, Rehan said I used to think love means saying everything? Zoya smiled, and I thought it meant not needing to say anything. He looked at her, and now she took a breath. Now I think it's both. He smiled. That sounds like us. And for the first time, they felt balanced. The real test. Months passed, and life, as always, changed things. Ayaan got an opportunity, a job, in another city, far away. It was everything he wanted, everything he worked for. But it came with a cost, distance. I don't know what to do, he told Meher. She stayed quiet for a moment, then said, You should go. He looked at her, just like that. She smiled softly. Love isn't about holding someone back. But what about us? She stepped closer. If it is real at one tea break, that scared him. But it also gave him strength. The goodbye that wasn't an ending, the day he left, was harder than expected. No dramatic scene, no loud crying, just quiet pain. Call me, she said. Every day. I will. He paused, then said, I love you. She smiled through tears. I know. And for the first time, they didn't say goodbye. They said, see you. Distance changes everything. At first, they tried calls, messages, late night talks. But slowly, time zones, work, life, fatigue, everything started pulling them apart again. Calls became shorter, messages delayed, silence returned. One night, they argued. You've changed, Meher said. So have you, Ayaan replied. Neither of them meant it, but it still hurt. And just like before, silence grew. Meanwhile, Rehan and Zoya stayed. Stronger, closer. They weren't perfect. They argued too, but they didn't run, talk, Rehan would say. Stay, Zoya would reply. And that made all the difference. The breaking moment. Months later, Ayaan came back, unannounced, to the same place, the lake. He didn't know if she'd come, but he waited, and she did. They stood there again. Like the first day. Why are you here, she asked. Because I didn't want to lose you again. She looked at him. You already did a little. That hurt. But it was true. I thought love would survive distance, he said. It does, she replied, but only if both people keep choosing it. Silence. I stopped choosing, he admitted. She looked away. I did too. The final choice. This time, they didn't rush. Didn't promise big things. Instead, they asked something simple. Do we still want this? A long pause. Then, yes. But this time, they chose differently. Not long-distance promises. Not uncertainty. Ayaan made a decision. He came back. For good? Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Years later, the same group, older now, different, but still connected. They met again. Same place, same lake. Laughter returned. Memories followed. Rehan and Zoya sat together. Comfortable, steady. Ayaan and Meher stood near the water. Do you think everything happened for a reason, she asked. Ayaan smiled. I think we made it happen. She looked at him. And if we didn't meet that day? He looked at the lake, then back at her. I think life would still go on. Pause. But it wouldn't feel like this. She smiled. Final ending. The sun began to set again, just like the first day. But this time, they weren't strangers. They weren't uncertain. They weren't afraid. They were chosen. Not once, not twice, but again and again. Last line. Some stories don't begin with love. They begin with a moment and become love because two people keep choosing each other no matter how many times life tries to pull them apart.